We gonna see. It's gonna be what would my dog Jim Ross call it? A slobber knocker.
Out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with.
What's going on? This is Totally Blitzed podcast. I'm Paul Pickle Winham Content, and as always, I'm joined with that boy Lil Cake Kev.
Damn, bro, you making all this damn noise, bro. Hey, we gotta play at 9 o'clock, dog. I gotta get my sleep. We're in England with it, man. Top of the morning. Top of the morning.
Going across the pond, you gotta get that sleep right. That's a veteran move, Kev. Veteran move.
I'm telling you, man, you know they be on that England time, you feel me? So I gotta make sure I'm right, you feel me? But hey, you making a lot of noise right now. Let me get
I'll make sure to keep it down. Cracking open cold ones on this side. Sipping on some Steel Reserve. Ain't got no smoke for y'all today, unfortunately. But I promise next episode I'm gonna be locked and loaded with the smoke.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning. One thing though, I don't know if Kev's gonna want to join us for this conversation because he does like to rub it into people's faces. We are currently sitting 5-0 on our Thursday night football picks, undefeated. Yet to see now.
You said Thursday night football.
Thursday
you
night.
talk about that shit. I don't never be wrong about.
Yeah, that's
Thursday
the shit
night?
we talk about.
Oh, why you ain't start off with that?
Top of the morning,
right, man. Oh, let me get my camera right. Let me talk my shit.
Top of the morning, Kev.
Top of the motherfucking morning, man. Hey, no, we can't. This can't be a long episode, man. I gotta get some sleep, kid. Hey, we up in the morning. I gotta work out and I gotta go do my worship before the game. So we up in the morning with it. But nah, Thursday night football, that game was not as good as it was supposed to be, but it was actually pretty good, even though there were some there were some intangibles that happened. No, I thought it was gonna be a thriller, knockout, boom, 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 greatest Thursday night football, but it was all right.
I enjoyed the defense.
That was the thing. That's what made it all right though, because like the offense was slow. Like it was not good offense. It was slow. What was it like? Hold up, I'll take notes this week.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was 0-0 in the first quarter, and then it was 7-3 in the second. That's 10 points of offense from what we think are going to be two NFC Championship contending teams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can't say Super Bowl contending teams because there's them boys over there in Tampa. Fuck them. But it was slow, but the defense was eating. Who got the first pick? Was it the
Seahawks did? Matthew Stafford, I mean, he's a vet, but that was a dumb move. He, instead of throwing it out of bounds, he didn't see the defender, tried to throw it into the end zone a little behind us.
I'm not going to hold you. I don't know who he thought he had on his team when he threw that one, because, like, I understand it. It looked good. I was like, there's no way he's going to throw that. And then when he threw it, I was like, oh. But, like, I don't know who he thought he had on his team. Like, they had maybe, like, Stephon Diggs or, like, prime time. Maybe he thought Calvin Johnson was back there because, like, boy, there was nobody over there. Like, if somebody had to go really make a play on that ball if they wanted to. So, like, it wasn't a bad pick, but it was just like, whoo, there's no offense going on right now. Y'all can't give up time, red zone opportunities.
Yeah, red zone opportunity. At least get 3.
I don't know about at least get 3. Just don't fuck up. Throw that shit out. Walk out of bounds.
And out of everybody, I mean, like, you understand that when it's a younger quarterback, but as a vet, like, he's done his time, like, just throw it away. Throw it into the fans. Give the fans something to be happy about right there.
I'm telling you.
But it was a good game. I want to see more about Russell Wilson's finger. That bitch was like this at the end of the game. So Geno Smith came in, made that shit into a thriller. But
nah, he definitely came in like, it's Geno Smith, so like we couldn't expect him to do what he did, but like he did great. Like,
yeah,
he just threw like a costly pick at the end, and like it's tough.
Yeah, and it wasn't even his fault, and I'll give him that. I do hate Geno Smith because he's a Jets quarterback, but I can't blame that pick on him because Tyler Lockett literally tripped over his own feet right there. Maybe it's not an interception, it's just an incompletion right there. You never know, but hey, that's football for you.
I want to get into the defense a little bit though, because defense did their thing for real. It was crazy because they didn't give up that many sacks like that, and I really ain't respect those O-lines like that. But the Seahawks defense be giving up yards, kid. Like that shit is tough. Like Geno Smith is what a normal quarterback is supposed to look like when their defense gives up 368 pass yards. Yeah, I took notes. I got numbers.
Hey,
And 118 rushing yards. Like, come on, kid, 26 points.
they're already, I think, bottom 2 or bottom 1 when it came to yards allowed. So
That shit is horrible. And it's like, that's tough because y'all are a good team, but it's like y'all give up a lot of points. Y'all got good players on that defense. Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams, other people.
Jamal Adams is nice, but he's one of the worst safeties in coverage. Like when it comes to coverage,
shit, though.
yeah, but that's why for his contract to be so expensive, you can't be one-sided on defense on just like the big hitter or something. Maybe they move the linebacker D end or something, because the backup safety is pretty decent and like he's not bad. I'm not gonna say I can't remember his name, but I saw some things about him. They were saying he's pretty good. I just think that's a liability, especially if you're in a shootout.
Nah, definitely. But it'd be like that sometimes. DK did straight though. He caught in the fourth quarter, that boy caught 3 targets, 54 yards and a touchdown. Like, that's pretty nice in the fourth quarter. Like, he tried to come back. And that's like without your starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So
at halftime, I saw he had 2 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown or something, all on Jalen Ramsey.
Nah, that's what was crazy to me. I don't know if the scheme was bad. They thought that Geno Smith really just thought the boys was like that. But they targeted for Jalen Ramsey like 9 times. Like,
no fear.
That's crazy. And one of them that got deflected for a pick. It was like,
yeah.
It was just like, gosh, like y'all doing this to Jalen Ramsey? Y'all boys living like that.
It was a good game. It got me a little sweaty up until that Geno Smith pick because once the Lions missed that extra point, I was like, man, the Seahawks are going to score a touchdown, only win by 2. And I was telling everyone to lock it in -2.5. And always those extra points always ends up hurting at the end because they would have scored an extra touchdown right there. It would have been a 2-point game. The lock was hit, but
I ain't like it because they should have went for it on fourth before they scored that field goal when they went for the field goal. Because like it was a 1-possession game, you got the ball back, but like you trusted your quarterback to get you back down the field like that to get another touchdown, not even a field goal. That's when I was like, when they didn't go for it and they went for that field goal, I was like, okay, pick safe. They're not going back on that defense. They're not going back down there.
And one thing about Sean McVay in general, he was 40-0 when he leads at halftime before the game. And when he's losing at halftime before the game, it was 6-22. And I know it's also because he had Jared Goff for all those years. He didn't have someone like Stafford who could sling. Like, if you're losing, you have a quarterback who can bring you back into the game. But they were losing at halftime. It went against the trend. Them boys came back, handled their business, and they won that thing.
I respect it because the boys definitely did have to come back for real. And like they just clicked it, they turned it on. Cooper Kupp started eating. I think he caught all 9 of his targets. That's scary.
Oh, you reminded me. Yeah, they were talking about how Robert Woods has said that he has made no complaints. No, he hasn't said anything about his lack of targets for the first 4 weeks or 3 weeks. And this game, all of a sudden, he gets peppered with I don't even know, like 15 targets out of nowhere.
Yeah, 14.
14. Yeah, I didn't. And it's just like. He must have said something. He had to say something like, "Hey, I'm open every now and then. Like, just look my way." Like he had to say something.
That's receivers for you though. They're always open. Like,
yeah. Hey.
You go see Jarvis Landry on the top 100. This man's first play is like crazy out of bounds because Baker Mayfield's a quarterback. It'd be some inaccuracy sometimes, but and he looks at the ref. He goes, "What you mean? Hey, pass interference." He goes, "That was uncatchable." He goes to the ref. You ain't seen my highlight tape? You ain't seen my highlight tape? The ref had to come back to him next play, like, "Hey man, if you had caught that, you would have been better than Odell." You're like you.
Hey, boy.
And then he brought up the damn Space Jam. He was like, "Man, you ain't seen Michael Jordan on the Monstars? That's me.
That's me.
I practiced that. But that's receivers for you. But that was a good game. It was straight. I wish Russell Wilson could have played the whole game because it would have been But Geno Smith kept it super competitive. They scored. We love scoring. Defense did their thing. it was a good game it was an all around best. It was the best Thursday night game so far.
Yeah. I
like
still
the Giants and the Redskins though. I mean,
that
the
was
football.
a good game. I still like the Cowboys because I honestly did not expect that game to be close at all. So then for them to take the lead with 30 seconds left, I do have to say, yeah, that and the opening night, the hit like that was such a good day.
Yeah, because I'm still kind of shook every time I see Dak. You're like, damn, that boy Dak really doing good. Yes, sir.
Do you have anything else you had on this game before you could jump into this week's?
Matthew Stafford is no longer MVP Stafford. I'm giving the too early MVP title to somebody else this week.
Okay. I like that. It's still a long season.
It's a long season. That's why you got to give them too early.
Yeah, you got to get the early.
You can
that wasn't my pick. That was my early season.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on. That was just a nickname. Like, come on now. You think I actually give people water?
But so I know you've been waiting on this one all week.
Top of the morning,
first game of the day. Wake up early, 9 a.m. Eastern.
I can't say that, man. We're about to say that, man.
We have the Jets 1-3 going in. Well, Falcons home game, but everyone knows it is across the pond at London.
We at home in England. That's our second home. What you mean? Them boys, we be sipping tea. You know what I'm saying? Like Calvin Ridley, we know we at home. We know we at home in England because Calvin Ridley couldn't come because he probably got some baby mama drama over there. Not playing.
Too much going on the outside.
Yeah, he got too much going on. He's like, nah, I'm gonna skip it this time. You feel me? I don't want to deal with the fam. You feel me?
How are you feeling about this game coming into it? I already know which side you rocking, but I think you just need to let our listeners know.
I think we going Dirty Birds definitely. You cover the spread, whatever it is.
2.5.
And then because it's a home game for us, but it's gonna be a good game. Like I like that you brought up neither of those teams have picks because it's like that's crazy. Because for us to solidify a win, it would have to be for like Zach Wilson to throw more picks than picks and touchdowns. So if you're gonna let Zach Wilson throw 2 touchdowns and like 380 yards, 420 yards, make sure you get 2 takeaways the other way too. Like make sure you keep it even. But if you let him throw for 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, that's gonna be a long day, especially if 280 of those yards are in the second half. It's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day because Taylor Heineke torched us last week, but we gonna learn. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't make the England trip. You feel me? I had some business to get done. You feel me? But I would have been on the sideline on special teams. You feel me? Handling some business out there. But motherfucking, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be lit. It's 9 a.m. I'm gonna be eating fish and grits because I was like, nah, we're not going serious.
Fish and grits.
Yeah, we gonna eat. I'm telling you, we at home in England. You feel me? We at home. That's what we eat out there. You feel me? But it's gonna be a good game. We'll see how it goes.
I'm rocking with the Dirty Birds too. I believe both safeties for the Jets are out. So Kyle Pitts breakout game. No Calvin Ridley traveling. Kyle Pitts, I think, is gonna have a massive game this week. It's gonna be that game where everyone's like, "Fuck yeah, Kyle Pitts is the real deal." Another thing is, I don't know the numbers on this. Does me personally, the Jets dumped the Gatorade on their coach just for winning that game last week, and you don't ever see that unless it's a Super Bowl. And typically, I don't see that. You don't even see that in the NFL. Yeah, so typically, I don't know the stats on it, but typically, you fade the team that dumped the Gatorade the week before just because they're too excited. You act like you've done it before. You can't be like that. And another reason, usually teams that are like, there was a while where the Jags were playing in London, I swear, almost every year. And the Jags were never really that good except for that one run in the playoffs. But they would own teams over there in London. And it was usually because they had veterans on the team. They knew how to prep for the game, go to sleep early, don't mess around. We have a football. You better be asleep that entire flight. The whole flight. And on the other side, the Jets are so young. They were one of the youngest teams in the NFL. Zach Wilson, their team, I just see them not taking it as serious as they should going into, I don't even know, it's like a 12-hour flight over there. They're not going to be ready for this game. The Falcons having all the vets and everything, they're going to be prepared. They know how to do this, and they're going to handle business over there. That's my only analytics into it. Hey, you dump the Gatorade, you're gonna lose next week. And you got too many youngins going over on a 13-hour flight. They're probably playing Fortnite on the plane or something. They're not gonna get no sleep.
Hey man, just know I've listened to every take you've made this year, and that was your best one. That was your best one. That was your best one.
Disrespect big game for Cordell Patterson and Kyle Pitts. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh man, Cordell Patterson. Oh, he finna go crazy. I think Cordell Patterson is gonna have a better numbers than Aaron Jones this week.
And potentially right now in fantasy, at least he's crushing it. But jumping on to another game to start off, we're over here in America, 1 p.m. kickoffs. Dolphins 1-3 going to Raymond James to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3-1.
Kid.
I'm rocking with the Dolphins just because I have a contract and I have to. My loyalty never sways my pick. I have to rock with the Dolphins. The only reason I could don't listen to me, but the only thing I would say to listen to me is the fact that, hey, maybe the Bucs don't care about this game. Maybe the Bucs just played the Patriots. They beat the Patriots. They're all hyped. That was a big game. Like that was a big win. Tom Brady did his thing. Maybe they take the day off, kind of, and maybe and we have a decent pass rush. I'm just scared because our rush defense is just so fucking terrible. And maybe Leonard Fournette has his big game against us and we lose. But I'm always rocking with the Dolphins. I expect us to come out swinging here, catch the Buccaneers to be a little sleepy. Maybe we win.
Hey, kid, I respect the pick. I respect the loyalty. I don't even like Tampa. Like, I'm going for a tie, but like that's gonna kill my record. So I'm going Tampa. I need this win for my record, kid. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll go Dolphins out of spite. You feel me? I'd put money on the Dolphins, but I gotta pick them for my record. I gotta pick against them for my record. Hey, but hey, if somebody hits you up like, hey man, I got 20 on the Bucs. Hey man, I got 10. I got 10 on that. I got 10 on that.
Hey, no. Hey,
just to hate on them.
It's maybe we can shut down the Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and them. I'm just hoping for our defense has to play the best game of their career.
I think I'm just gonna come to play, y'all. You guys are gonna try to play really good, and like that's what you've done every week, and like this week's not gonna look as good as the other weeks.
The scariest thing to me is this. You hear me. Everyone's heard me. I'm preaching about how bad our pass blocking is on our O-line. Austin Jackson, I just read something yesterday where apparently in like week 2, he didn't even know who to block. How are you off starting left tackle for us? You don't even know who to block. And then they said, oh, once he found out who to block, it didn't matter. He got slapped away anyway. Like this is coming out of the Miami Dolphin columns. And I'm just like, oh my God. And everyone knows about that D-line over there in Tampa. So that's just one of the scariest things for me.
Hey, man. It's 1 o'clock though. You have a whole day of football after that, so you sure?
Yeah, get that out of the way.
But yeah.
Next game, I think it's gonna be a pretty good game. We have the Saints 2-2 going over to Washington 2-2. For me, my pick, I'm taking the Saints. Even if their center and left tackle are going to be out, it is a little scary. But Washington's defensive line has not shown me any reason to be afraid of them this year. Antonio Gibson might not play. And if it's all on Heineke, I'm taking the Saints 100%. I think that especially after letting the Giants beat them at home, they're locked in for this game. They're going to take care of business with Washington this week.
I'm upset at how many times I've picked the Saints this year. It's kind of hurtful. Because like I be picking them and I feel like I'd be half and half. Because like I'd be right and it don't feel good. I'd be wrong and I really don't feel good. So it just be like, fuck, why do I gotta keep picking the Saints? But no, I'm taking the Saints this week because like I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Taylor Heineke's about to have a field day because that's what he does. Like he's a good competitor. He likes to win. He's strong. He's tough. And he just knows how to come up in the fourth quarter. He be throwing that thing. And Daniel Jones just threw 400 yards on them boys. I think Daniel Jones is a little better than Taylor Heineke. But I'm gonna take Taylor Heineke to have like 290 to 330 with 2 touchdowns. And like I'm not saying they're gonna win, but it's gonna be like it's gonna be a good game because I like this because that defense is nowhere to be found right now. Matt Ryan threw 3 touchdowns to one person, and then a running back ran y'all all over on the screen. So like, whew, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a long day for the Washington football team, and hopefully they don't do too many takeaways and they'll be straight. But I'm taking the Saints, sadly.
We're both taking the Saints here. Oh, so our favorite Buck fan, Alex, is calling in real quick. He's going to give us a quick preview of what he thinks is going to happen between the Dolphins and the Bucs. He's giving us some breaking news. So we'll be right back, everybody.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's your boy AB with the Bucs Week 5 preview. The 3-1 Bucs. We're at home. Hosting the Miami Dolphins, who's 1-3. Our first home game after 2 away games, so excited to be back home. Let's go straight into the injury report. Rob Gronkowski is out, still battling the rib injury. We have not had any luck at the DB position. That's 3 out of 4 starting DBs out. Antoine Winfield is out with a concussion. Davis is out and on the IR with the hamstring injury, so he'll probably be gone about 4 weeks. But we do have Jamal Dean back this week against the Dolphins. So it's going to be him and Richard Sherman as the starting cornerbacks and Mike Edwards filling in for Winfield at the safety position next to Whitehead. So that's the DBs. JPB still battling the shoulder injury, but Bruce Arians did say that JPP will play this game. If he's limited, we have Tyrone, who's doing really good. He had 2 sacks last week. So if JPP is limited, Tyrone will get the job done. Antonio Brown is, according to the injury report, did not participate with a knee injury, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. We should see Antonio Brown on game day. The Dolphins, of course, no Tua. He's on the IR still. Parker, the right receiver, had limited participation practice. Both Howard and Jones, the cornerbacks, did have full participation, so I'm guessing they should be playing this game. So that's it with the injuries. ESPN has the Bucs at a -10 spread. I have the Bucs winning 38-17. The Bucs, we should have a really good game coming back from last week. And with the Dolphins head coach, having him be with the Patriots for so many years, they have somewhat the same scheme. So we should see the same type of offense, same type of defense that we saw last week, this week again. So it should be a good game. So like I said, I have the Bucs winning, of course. And we have a Dolphin fan in the podcast. He know who he is, so I'm challenging him to 2 shots. 2 shots that the Bucs gonna win. I was gonna say 5 shots, but we all know the Bucs gonna win, so I'm gonna take it easy on him. So I got 2 shots this game. So it's gonna be a good game. Enjoy your Sunday, enjoy your Sunday football, and have a good weekend. And I'll see you next week.
Right. Hey, you know what's crazy? Have you ever seen Tony Dungy in Tampa before?
A few times.
Yeah, like listen, it hit me. I be seeing him on TV now, and like it never hit me as a jit. I was like, this man really used to be around because his son used to play for the Chiefs when I played for the Bucs. Me and my brothers played for the Bucs. So like I used to see them boys like at the game, and I said, like, but this is a dude for Sunday night, and like nobody's saying nothing. I was like, I don't want to be that guy that's gonna say something. So I just kept it moving. And like I seen him telling a story about the Super Bowl. He was like, he said that David beat Goliath because everybody else was scared of Goliath. David said, man, I'm charging in and hitting that boy with the rock. So then when it was time to play the Super Bowl, they was like, everybody's scared of Devin Hester. We're not scared of Devin Hester. We're gonna do what we do, man. Hey, we're gonna kick it straight to Devin Hester. Fuck it. Straight to Devin Hester, man. We're not scared of Devin Hester. Next thing you know, that 12 seconds later, Devin Hester take it back. First time Super Bowl opening kickoff gets ran back in history. And it was like, and everybody is announcing center like, damn, who's the idiot that thought to kick it to Devin Hester? What a dummy. And Tony Dungy just said that like, All right, y'all boys. So we that's how we made a statement. Like,
we learn and live. But one thing about Tony Dungy though, I remember that Super Bowl because that's the Colt when he was coach of the Colts and they played the Bears. Because Peyton Manning came out and said because apparently Tony Dungy never cusses. But when they come into halftime because they're down and they're the best team in the NFL, he didn't say no F-bombs or nothing. He was just like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? And coming from a man who never even says those type of words, Peyton Manning was just like, oh, like everyone was shook. You get someone who never cusses to say the word hell, that boy, like them boys are really shook in that locker room.
Nah, for real, man. Hey, man, but that's the story time with Tony Blitz. Now we gonna have a good show. Bet. Damn, I'm really tired of this man, Alex, on a weekly basis talking that shit. Like, why do the Bucs?
I know he had to say he said some slick shit about the Dolphins, but
I'm telling you, see, look, we should have just skipped over his ass. I don't know why we busted his ass in. But hey, man, I do appreciate him because I don't want to talk about the Bucs, so we need somebody to.
Everyone seems to love him.
But hey, man, on to the next game though. We got the Green Bay Packers. Pack that thing. We got AR-12, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. Is Jair Alexander playing?
Nope.
Ooh.
He's expected to miss a couple of weeks, they say.
But who them boys just pick up? Jalen Smith?
Yep. I'm not sure if he's gonna play, but they did just pick him up.
So we got the Packers walking into Cincinnati to play Joey B, yep. Jamar Chase, and the Cincinnati Bengals. What's their coach's name?
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor to play the Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be the quickest game of 1 o'clock. It's going to be fun to watch. Joey B's going to do what he does because the Packers defense ain't all that. But like, yeah, Packers by 100. What are we talking about?
Honestly, I've seen a lot of people talking about this might be the Bengals win. If you ask me, I don't like it. There's like, I'm taking the Packers. Even if it's a road game, non-conference, it doesn't matter. They already did their big loss. Like they shouldn't have came out and lost 38-3 to the Saints. So now they can't afford to lose to these other teams who are outside of Super Bowl contenders. So they're locked in and loaded. Jair Alexander not playing is kind of scary, but like you said,
very scary.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers though. Aaron Rodgers versus Joe Burrow, taking Aaron Rodgers. Zach Taylor versus Matt LaFleur, taking Matt LaFleur. And that's the main reasons why I'm taking, even with some injuries on the Packers, some key injuries, I'm rocking with the Packers here. They're not going to fuck around. Everyone's making jokes about him after week 1. Aaron Rodgers doesn't forget. He's this is the big fuck you mode to the rest of the league. No one wanted me. Hey, fuck everybody. We're going to rock and load it.
Hey, man, Packers by 100.
Yeah, honestly, the line is only 3 for the Packers, which is shocking to me. I think they're a much better team.
The Bengals look decent. The Bengals defense isn't bad, but Packers by 100.
No. But the next game on the slate, which I think is going to be another little heater, the Broncos going to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers.
Ooh.
I want to see. It currently is a pick. It's like it started off as the Steelers were favored by 1 point. Now the Broncos are favored by 1 point, and the spread is just going back and forth. So it's really just a pick 'em. Like who you rocking with?
Ooh, because the Steelers, they gotta win one at home, man. They got to. They gotta get loud in Pittsburgh. They gotta open up the steel curtain. They gotta drop the elbow on somebody. And the Broncos look like the team they gotta do it to, man. And it's crazy because like the Broncos lost last week and like they kind of looked exposed a little bit. They looked a little open. They looked a little like I seen you play some bad teams. You locked them up. You did what you did, but like what y'all did when who was it? Don't tell me. Lamar Jackson came into town. That boy threw 300 on you. Lamar threw 300 on you. So like, I don't know, man. See, I really don't want to. I actually have a question mark in my on my list. But I'm gonna take the Steelers on this one. The Steelers gotta win one at home. They gotta get loud. They gotta do it. It's a pick 'em, but I'm taking the Steelers as a home dog in this one.
Home dog.
They got to do what they got to do, man.
Hey, you're making so much good sense. The Steelers at home, the crowd will be there. They've been losing. They got to win one, but it ain't coming this week. The Broncos are rolling into town, and they are the choo-choo. They are coming, and the Bronco train, Bronco County, is coming.
Bronco County
is coming to hit the Steelers in the mouth. Teddy Bridgewater, this recently as today, I saw it. He got cleared for concussion protocol from an independent doctor. So now the team doctor has to clear him, which is probably going to happen. And if he's playing, it's a much better team. That defense is elite. Big old Ben Roethlisberger needs to hang up the cleats. And if Mason Rudolph was playing, I might be leaning towards the Steelers. But when Big Ben is saying, I'm going to fight through my torn pectoral muscle, yeah, them boys are toast. I'm rocking with the Broncos.
Damn, I didn't know Teddy Bridgewater was playing.
Hey, let me know. You got about 30 seconds. Let me know. I'm rocking with the Broncos County. I just think the Steelers are not that team no more. They went 11-0 last year because of the defense carrying them. And after the defense couldn't do not that they couldn't do anything, but you only get so far with a defense. And it just started crumbling. And I think Big Ben will crumble.
I'm gonna keep my Steelers pick because I want them boys to get loud. I'm not gonna watch that game. I'm gonna have it on the red zone. So every time I want to see them boys in the red zone, yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. I think the Broncos is gonna win because Teddy Bridgewater knows how to play.
But like I said, he's not guaranteed to end because sometimes the team doctor won't like an independent. They don't care what the independent doctor says. So Drew Lock still may be the starter. But even with Drew Lock, I'm still rocking with the Broncos with that defense because this is the best defense I think Big Ben has seen. Period, and he's already looked shitty.
If Teddy Bridgewater plays, I'm taking the Broncos because he don't lose on the road. But if there's no Bridgie, I'm taking the curtain because they gonna be loud. They gonna be loud. It's a pick 'em. They gonna be loud.
It is a pick 'em.
But I'm taking the Steelers right now. I got the Steelers as a home dog in this one.
Dog. Next game on the slate. Let me see. Since we are talking football, we have the Dirty Eagles, 1-3.
Time out. The Eagles are not dirty. The Eagles are grimy. They're filthy. They're grungy. They're gruddy.
The grimy Eagles going to play the Panthers. Sam Darnold's Panthers, 3-1. Christian McCaffrey might play, but it is doubtful. So
doubtful.
Very doubtful.
There's certain people, like, if they're doubtful, like, okay, that boy might play. In basketball, Allen Iverson was doubtful. You still came to the game with your Allen Iverson jersey on. Like, you thought he was going to play. In football, if Carson Wentz is doubtful, hey, he might still play. Like, I'm not going to lie. He might still play. If Christian McCaffrey is doubtful, he's not playing next week either. Like I'm sorry. And I love him. He's part Olympian. Like, he's part Olympian, but like, I don't know, man. I like the Eagles. No, I don't like the Eagles. I'm lying. But I like Devontae Smith. He had a great game last week against the Chiefs. Jalen Smith did his thing. Not Jalen Smith. Jalen Hurts did his thing. 387 yards, I believe. And I'm not even a numbers guy. But I got to take the Panthers. Sam Wheeler?
Leading the league in touchdowns.
Sam Willington, to the people that don't know him like that, like, he gonna get up out of there. I like him to have more rushing touchdowns than Jalen Hurts. And if they scheme to stop him running, then they're definitely gonna win. I promise you, they're definitely gonna win. They're scheming to be, hey, we gotta contain him. We can't let him get out the pocket. They're winning.
So I was rocking with the Panthers, but the more I look into my slate, the more I'm just like, I got to have at least a couple underdogs. There's only been like 2 or 3 times in NFL history that all favorites have won, and I didn't have a lot of dogs. And my dog this week will be the Eagles, 1-3, going to Panthers. The Panthers did only beat some bad teams earlier in the year. They kind of got exposed by the Cowboys. Not like they played a terrible game. The Cowboys have been looking real good this year. But one thing that sticks out to me nugget-wise is Carolina's pass block is 30th. And the only thing that I like from the Eagles outside of Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith is their defensive line. And if their line can create pressure on Darnold, I like Darnold to be this year. I still don't believe he's this top 10 quarterback because he's not top 10, but like fantasy wise, he's like number 6.
Right.
It's
He's
just
not a top 10 quarterback. He's a top 10 running back.
Hey,
the league.
And you know I fuck with the Colts white boy team. But I'm rocking with the Eagles. I think Fletcher Cox and that defensive line is going to get some pressure. Darnold might throw a pick here or there. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be like 30-27 Eagles. And it's going to be –
See, look, I really thought that too because it's going to be a good game. But Patrick Mahomes really threw 5 touchdowns, and that's Pat Mahomes. But 2 of them was underhanded. So I'm just thinking I'm just thinking that they got something schemed up for the Eagles. Like, their defense is hurting right now. I don't see the Eagles. It's going to be a great game. I just don't see the Eagles pulling it off.
I do agree that the defense on the Eagles is fucking trash. That's why it's a high-scoring game. The only way the Eagles win is if they score 30. It's like –
and I don't see them doing on that defense. But can we take a second to talk about how the fact that the Panthers already won this week?
What do you mean?
Them boys hit a major lick picking up
Stephon Gilmore, yeah.
Oh my gosh, for a 6th-round pick, man, I personally can't go train for a 6th-round pick, but I'll trade you a burger and fries for a 6th-round pick. Like what? That's the thing about the NFL. It's so hard to trade because like you're trading an all-pro player that wants some paper for like a rookie that's only gonna be worth like what, $500,000 like a year? Like that's crazy, but it's real life. And like I know every team that needs a corner, the Packers, is kicking themselves. Like the Ravens is kicking themselves right now because if you had the money to pay for him next year, you should have picked him up because the Panthers hit a major lick.
I love the pickup because they already have someone, J.C. Horn, C.J. Henderson. They just traded for. But the only thing scared me for Stephon Gilmore is he's 31, I think 32, coming off a quad injury. And he wants $15 million a year on his next contract. So the scariest thing is if they give him that contract and he's just not the defensive player of the year, Stephon Gilmore. I don't think he'll be a back corner. I still think he'll be a good corner even with an injury. But he is getting into later years. And that's why Richard Sherman got the boot is because he wanted like a lot of money from the 49ers. And they're like, hey, man, you're getting a little older.
That's why Stephon Gilmore just got the boot. And it wasn't really a boot. It was a scheme. Them boys, how did they do it? Them boys both put out releases. And like it was a last minute release because it was just in his notes. Like they didn't have time to send it to the agent or put it in like a whole bunch of extra fancy stuff. Now it was in his notes and he screenshotted it. Like that was interesting. And the next thing you know, like I guess they didn't put the paperwork in until like if we closed at 5, they wasn't gonna put the paperwork in until 4:59. And then by 2 o'clock, they had them traded. By 2 o'clock, they had the trade paperwork in. Like, it was crazy. I never seen that before. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, they're saying that they've been trying to trade Gilmore for 2 years now. No one wanted him. And then whenever they were like, oh, we release him, the Carolina came in and like, oh, before we release him, like, let's throw you a 6th-rounder, like at least something. Yeah. And they're like, oh, there you go. Steal of the year.
And then they said Jamie Collins is coming back for the 3rd time. He must have a couple houses over there. He must be like, oh yeah, I like it. I like New England.
And they say we'll let you get paid somewhere else, but then we'll bring you back to win.
The second you cheaper, kid.
Speaking of Jamie Collins, we have the Lions who are 0-4 going to Minnesota, who is 1-3. This is the second biggest spread of the week, only behind the Bucs and the Dolphins at 9.5. So everyone's rocking with the Vikings. Honestly, I want to talk myself into the Lions here just because of how shitty their red zone offense was last week. They could have at least had 2 touchdowns or 4 field goals at the least if they didn't fuck up. But I'm just thinking, I'm taking the Vikings. It's just they lost last week to the Browns. It was a close game. Maybe they shouldn't have lost. I think Dalvin Cook is going to have a better game. His ankle's been a little tweaked up. I think they kind of been like resting him. They didn't want him getting hurt without playing. So I think this game's going to be get right for the Vikings. They know they can't go 1-4 in that conference. or that division. And once you go 1-4 in that division, there's no more playoffs. You're out of it.
America, why do y'all let me pick the Lions so much? I feel like I picked the Lions. If the Lions are 0-4, I picked them 3 times. Like, America, y'all let this happen consistently. I'm not doing it again. I refuse. The Vikings, I don't know what the fuck they did last week. 14-7 to the Browns? What the fuck? Y'all could have busted them boys. The Browns was boofing like crazy. Y'all was supposed to blow them boys up. But nah, they just wasn't there all the way. But it's cool. It happens a lot. So they're 1-3. If they lose this game, they're definitely not going to the playoffs. These are facts. But I'm taking them. They're the best 1-3 team. They shouldn't be a 1-3 team. They shouldn't have lost to the Bengals. Why the fuck did they lose to the damn? Who was it? Not the Redskins. Was it the Redskins? It might have been the Redskins. Who did they lose to? They lost to some team they shouldn't have lost to fucking week 2. So like, tighten up, get this win. You're supposed to get this win.
Bengals.
The Bengals. Yeah, get this fucking win and then go get ready for next week. This is some bullshit.
Yeah, get right game.
Oh, the Cardinals. That's the team they lost to. The Cardinals.
Oh, Cardinals. Yeah, because week 1 they lost to Cincinnati by the overtime field goal. Another game. It's just bullshit going on.
Get fucking right. Justin Jefferson is nice. Captain Kirk, you know you like that shit. So let's get fucking right.
Yeah, and the Lions, I mean, I love Amari, Gaither Lum. Just outside of him, I mean, who's he going to guard? Thielen, Jefferson? Whoever he's guarding ain't going to do nothing. The other side is going to be cooking all day.
Whoever he's guarding is still going to score because you can't guard him the entire game. He has to be on his island.
You can't be the only corner. Next game, another huge spread. The Patriots rolling into Houston to play the Houston Texans. How you running this game? Let me see.
Davis Mill, 87 yards, 4 touchdowns. The Patriots are known for killing rookie quarterbacks. I don't even know why I'm talking about it this long on the podcast. But I might start talking about the Falcons again in a second. Like, I don't know why this game is gonna be it's just gonna be a game. It's not gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a game. What's it called? Is the Patriots the team that's missing like 4 out of 5
offensive linemen?
That's wild. But like, who the fuck is on the pass rush for the Texans? Like, you could have taken advantage of that shit, but nope. Yeah, this is the Patriots by 15.
I'm taking the Texans. This is going to be the crazy game that kills everybody's parlay. Just because the Patriots are currently ranked like 28th against the run. Houston, they're not the best run game, but Mark Ingram is not a bad running back. Bill Belichick does hold that crazy record against rookies. And I remember I was the one that told you it was like 22-6. But what they don't tell you is his record against rookies on the road is not that good. His record against rookies on the road, I believe, is like 8-7. And he has already beaten run rookie on the road, which is Zach Wilson. So I'm rocking with I like Bill. I just, like you said, they have 4 offensive linemen out. I don't think the Texans have a good defense, but I think this is a game where they could make a sack here and there. It's just gonna be the game where even if they don't win, I guarantee that they're covering that 9.5, just because the Patriots offense is not explosive like that to like really score a lot of points. And if the run game isn't going to be working for them, and like this is a game that could be real ugly, and that they end up losing by like a field goal. And that's the only reason why I'm rocking. I don't have many dogs on my card, but my gut, my instinctive gut is telling me like this is gonna be the game that busts everybody's parlay, because everyone's gonna tease the Patriots down to 2. Everyone's gonna take the Patriots on that last pick, like, oh, they're not gonna lose here. And this is like the Titans last week. Oh, they're not gonna lose. That's the Jets. And then shit happens.
Hey, my shit didn't freeze. I just still couldn't process what's going on right now. This man threw 4 picks for 87 yards last week. I couldn't take him if you paid me. Like if you paid me $25, I couldn't bet 20 on him. Like,
but he also played right now currently the number 1 ranked defense in NFL, the Bills.
No way. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I respect the gutsiness. I respect the gambling strategics. I respect the analytics, but I can't do it. I just can't. There's just things in this world that you don't do, and that's bet on Davis Mills.
And we'll see.
If Tyrod Taylor was in the game, I'd be like, hey, I don't know.
We'll see, because outside of those 4 offensive linemen now, they also have like 7 defensive starters who they had at week 1 is not playing.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
Then we have the Titans, who are 2-2, going to another unwinning team, the Jaguars, who are 0-4. I'm rocking it. I have to be contrary to my last pick because I can't have 2 0-4 teams in my picks. So I'm rocking with the Titans here, even though they have like 24 people on their injury.
Bro, that shit is insane. How do you have that many? And like, I think Julio's out, AJ's in.
AJ's in, Julio's out. But AJ's also like a little banged up.
A little, that's crazy. They got the fucking injury bug. They got the injury bug over there feeding it on motherfucking, what's the word for it? Breeding over there. That shit.
Breeding. The only thing is, I just think the Jaguars' defense is just so bad that I think this is Tannehill's not breakout game, but like get back game. Like Derrick Henry's gonna run all over the defense, and Tannehill's gonna at least have one person on offense that he knows who he can throw it to, and he's gonna look better.
Hey, the Titans shouldn't have lost to the Giants last week. What the fuck? Y'all couldn't even tie. Y'all missed a field goal. Oh, the Jets. Damn, that's embarrassing. But they should have lost to the Jets last week. Y'all missing field goals with 15 seconds left in overtime. Y'all can't even tie with the Jets. The football gods have something to do with that. The football, y'all got 23 people on the IR, and I really don't want to take you, but I don't think the Jaguars have been thinking about football this week. Everything Urban Meyer, which I respect, because I did some research, and when I say did some research, I watched Pat McAfee like 2 days in a row. It was his bar in Ohio, and then he went across the street, boom, boom. I've never heard of no coaches doing that. Chuck Pagano, 37 years, never heard of that. Mike Lombardi's never heard of that. Pat McAfee, AJ Hawk, Mike Tom, nobody's heard of it. It doesn't. Deion Sanders, like I'm listening to these podcasts, nobody's heard of that because that doesn't happen.
That's the coach.
So, and it's crazy because they said that they did it, he got permission beforehand, but it was like, so if y'all had won, you was just gonna be like, all right, man, y'all take it easy. I'm finna go see my grandkids. Cool. I was like, hey, man, do what you do. It doesn't matter what I think. You're a grown man. You do what you do. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd be doing the same thing after a loss. I'd just be a little smoother with it. I'll probably be in the cut, probably be a little darker. You feel me? A little hole in the wall, not across the street from my personal spot. If that wasn't the spot exactly, but I don't think the Jaguars have been focused on football. They got to get past that shit. They can win this week, and I don't think I'd erase that shit, but it would get their minds on football. But yeah, I don't like it, man. They said that Burr walked into the practice on Monday or Tuesday, whenever it is, tried to apologize, and they just laughed at his ass. You know, they ain't laughed at him. They was laughing behind his back, but like it'd be like that sometimes.
It got even worse because of the last Thursday or Wednesday after practice, when they get into the little huddle, put the fist up, 1, 2, 3 on me. They ended the practice with 1, 2, 3 grind. And everyone started laughing because they knew what this joke was.
Them boys finna get blown out.
Now, so that ends us on all our 1 o'clock games. We're gonna jump into the 4 o'clock slate. Any game you want to start with there?
Man, I should do it. I want to do an AJ Hawk and just start bouncing around just on some bullshit. That shit was so funny. But no, I say let's start with the worst one. And I go Bears Raiders. And I don't say the worst one.
I already knew which one you meant.
I don't mean worst one as in games, because I think this is probably a really competitive game. I just mean as worst one because I had to pick through this shit. And it was like, come on, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to pick against Justin Fields again. But like, I just don't see the Bears pass rush doing anything to disrupt Derek Carr. That's what it is. You got to disrupt him with the pass rush. And I don't think John Gruden has a scheme to stop Justin Fields and them boys. I just don't think that I think with Kyle Nassib back there and like that defense is putting consistent pressure, I feel like they'll be real uncomfortable. And I don't think Matt Nagy's calling the plays, which he should just probably stop doing that in general. But I'm taking the Raiders. I just don't see them being able to have enough fuel to stop what's going on. But I like to see Justin Fields going against a decent defense, see what he got on him. And it's going to be a decent game. It's going to be competitive, but like I got the Raiders.
in this game, it is a hard one for me because like my guts tell me Bears, just because I think Khalil Mack coming home to Las Vegas and seeing John Gruden and them boys again, he's gonna be on a mission to get like 2 sacks out there.
Bro, what is up with your revenge game? You called every revenge game this season. Like, I be watching the games and I be seeing them. I'm like, oh, he did used to. I was like, oh, Paul already said that. Like,
they take that. Everyone, people forget like NFL players are people. Like they get the same feeling that we do. They know like like they hear the news. They know that like everyone knows Khalil Mack's coming. Like so they have to bring it. They can't fuck around. But
and Deion Sanders said that shit feels good. Like I want to take back what I said about if you watch the Patriots, Bucs, the Brady Belichick Bowl for anything more than football, he's a bitch. But I do understand the fact that like it's special. It means something to come back, and that was the biggest of all time. You don't get a bigger comeback than that. But like, let's play some football, y'all boys. Okay, you've been there. You comfortable. It's another day at the office. Knock them boys out in the place that you already been before.
I'm taking the Bears.
You got the Bears?
Just to go contrary. Just to go a little contrary on everybody. I see a lot of people saying smash the Raiders for this game, and I think this is still the same Raiders from a few years ago. I do like the team, but I'm not completely sold that this is a playoff contender. And usually teams that aren't playoff contenders, they lose games they shouldn't lose. And then you're looking later down the year like, oh well, they went 9-7 or 9-8 because they couldn't beat this team and this team and this team. And I think this will be one of those games where the defensive line creates pressure. Justin Fields has been named starter. He gets that little confident boost. And I just think they come out to have a good game. And I like Allen Robinson to have a good game here because everyone's been talking down on his name all year. And I think he's going to have a good little game here.
Hey, I just want to throw this out there.
The
differences we've had is so far as the Bears, the Texans, the people that you picked are the Bears, the Texans. And did you pick the Eagles or the Panthers?
Eagles.
And the Eagles. Like, I'm just saying, man, these are the teams that you trust in, man. These are the dogs you trust in.
Gotta go a little contrary. I know no one was on the Jets last week or the Giants. But it's always those random games where no one's looking. And then saying, no, you look back and you're like, how the fuck?
I don't know, man. They say you can't find a good girl. She usually pulls up on you, man. I don't know if you can find a good game, man. Sometimes it just pulls up on you.
Well, we'll see. What game you want to talk about next? What's next on the slate?
Oh man, you know I gotta give my early MVP now. I had to take it away from Matthew Stafford. On Monday, Kyler Murray was KM. After the win they get this week, because I'm taking the Cardinals, his new name will be KMVP. He's been eating. He's been torching everybody. He's gonna do what he gotta do. And I like the 49ers I like the 49ers. I like Trey Lance, but I just don't feel like they have the answers. And if this starts becoming a shootout, a runaway game, you've seen against the Packers, they can't really play those. So I'm taking the Cardinals. I'm taking the Cardinals. And if they go 5-0, I really don't see them losing 4 games. I really don't see them losing more than 5 games after that. So, hey, Paul. Woo.
It's coming.
Woo. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. It's football, though.
I see it. I'm rocking with Kyle Shanahan and them boys of the 49ers. Not last week, but the Trey Lance is coming in this game. I think he presents a different type of challenge than what Jimmy G would have, staying in the pocket. I do believe this will be a high-scoring game. I just like Kyle Shanahan in that running game to this controls time of possession, maybe force a turnover here and there. I do believe Trey Lance probably will have a turnover as well. It's not like he's going to play a perfect game, it's his first game as a starter. But I just think he's going to unlock this 49ers offense. Like Deebo Samuel's going to have a good game. The Trey Sermon running back. I just think Kyle Shanahan has something schemed up to take down the undefeated Cardinals right now.
I respect it. But like, I think it can go either way. I think it's going to be a good game, but I just don't see them boys just scoring. I just don't see the
Well,
49ers can score. They can do it, but I'm taking the Cardinals because this turns to a shootout. I feel like the Cardinals got a couple more bullets in their gun.
One thing about the 49ers, because like last week when they played the Seahawks and they lost 28-21 or 28-20, they had almost double the Seahawks yards. They had like 460 total yards, and the Seahawks only had 235. It was just like good ball position. The turnovers on downs, like Crane turn. It's just little things like that allow. But when you see teams that can put up a lot of yardage and then they don't score, they usually have the next game. I like them to get their mojo correct and just not fuck up because they're getting the yardage. They're going down the field and they're just not scoring and fucking up. And I just think Trey Lance, if it's a 3rd and 2, he might break out the pocket, get you the extra 2 yards, whereas Jimmy G's gonna sit in the pocket and just look for something. You know, like that. But it's a tough game. But I'm going with the 49ers here. I'm just going with Kyle Shanahan and the boys.
I respect it. We're gonna see what happens.
What else on your slate?
Next, man, we got the Giants.
Ooh,
Danny Wheels.
divisional.
Come on, man. But he got to deal with Dak Prescott and the motherfucking Zeke coming off. Zeke and Tony Pollard after the boys rushed for 245 yards last week.
Number 2 rush offense in the league.
Scary. And they got to deal with that. I'm taking the Cowboys, but I like Danny Wills. He just threw 400 yards. He threw 400 yards against the Saints team. That's not terrible. And I don't know. I like them boys to do something. I'm taking the Cowboys because Zeke's going to run all over them boys. Like, there's nothing they could. I thought the Panthers could stop Zeke. I lied. So we're going to see what's cracking. But I'm taking the Cowboys on this one. What you looking at?
I'm rocking the Cowboys. Just like I told you, remember the end of that last game last week, I was like, man, this Cowboys defense is legitimate. They're getting takeaways. Micah Parsons is finding his lane in the NFL. Micah, my bad. Dak is looking great, even if he doesn't like. A lot of things about some quarterbacks, they're a little selfish, but with Dak, he doesn't seem selfish at all. Like, he's like, oh, the run game's winning? Fuck it. Let's keep feeding the run game. I'll end the game with 175 yards. That's cool with me.
No problem.
No problem. And they're balling right now. They're on a trend. I do like the Giants to cover the 7 points. I think it's going to be closer than a touchdown just because it's divisional. And that defense has been allowing like 390 yards per game. They're doing really good at taking the ball away. But sometimes if you don't take the ball away, that kind of hurts you. But I am rocking with the Cowboys to win. Like, there's the better team right here. And it's at home. I'm rocking with it.
Real shit. Hey, man. So we got one more 4:00 game. Oh, no, we got 2 more. Oh, no. One more.
One more.
And this is the best one out of all of them.
It is.
We got Baker Mayfield, that guy. He's cool. He makes a lot of mistakes. This is interesting for a contract season because like Baker Mayfield, I really thought was gonna ball out, go crazy. You had the system, you had the team, you had the vision, you had the blueprint, you had the mindset. I'm not gonna say that she was gonna win a Super Bowl, but I thought she was gonna go out there. He was gonna go through, win games, go crazy, never really look vulnerable because you're trying to get paid like Josh Allen and them boys. Like the guy that you're facing, Jay Herbo and the Chargers, is going to get paid on his contract year if he keeps balling like he is.
Facts.
I expected more from Baker Mayfield this year, so I'm picking the Chargers because I think that defense has really gotten their legs out. They've really like sprouted. They really get stretched their legs. They done got it right. They done figured some things out. They know how to fly. That defense be flying, and the Browns defense is great. I don't know where the rank is, but they're great team defense. But I got the Chargers this week. Jay Herbo, he's not going to make too many mistakes. He's not gonna win the MVP this season, but he's gonna do something this week to make us think like, ooh, who that boy over there? But I'm taking the Chargers this week. I'm just a Brandon Staley fan. Now that I think about it, just a defensive-minded coach that can really get it done on offense. Like I fuck with them boys. I got the Chargers this week. Jay Herbo, shut them up.
I'm rocking with the Browns. And to answer your question, they're currently the number 2 defense behind the Bills. They're only allowing 250 yards total a game right now. I was, I'm big.
Damn, 250 total?
Total.
Sheesh.
So
They
Myles
played the Chiefs
Garrett
week
and
one.
Clowney are both top 10 in QB pressures right now. Myles Garrett's leading in sacks. I think that defensive line is going to create problems. That defense is going to create problems. I love Jay Herbert. I love the Chargers. You knew I was on that. But the one takeaway I have is the Chargers are a bottom 4 rush defense right now. They're allowing the 4 rushing yards per game. They would have been worse, but the Raiders abandoned the rush defense because they were down 14-0. And so they have one game where they only allowed like 50 rushing yards, 40 rushing yards, and it's still 4th worst rushing defense. And Nick Chubb, time of possession, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, I think the Browns are going to take this one away. And I'm not a Browns fan. I'm not high on them. But when it comes to like certain things, when it's like, oh, they have a worse rushing defense. They have the number 1 rushing offense in the league at 180 yards per game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So those little things made me sway my – and everyone knows Chargers don't play no home games. I don't care what it says on paper.
Not at all.
Cleveland fans are the number 1
That's
fan
crazy.
base right now. They're traveling. They'll be there. They'll be making noise. Rocking the Browns.
Those tickets must be so cheap for the Chargers.
Probably.
But I'm not gonna lie to you. You definitely made me change what game I was gonna have on the screen. I was definitely gonna have the Cardinals and the 49ers, but I'm going Browns Chargers because I want to see I want to see my dog Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt eat real quick. But I got the Browns. I got the Chargers. I got the Chargers over the Browns.
You want to put a shot on this game? I think this is a pretty fair, even game.
I'll put a shot on this game. I'll put a shot, and I'll drink a shot while watching the game because it's gonna be lit.
All right.
Hey man, it's 7:35, which that makes it motherfucking 8:00 Kev time. You feel me? And I need a smoothie in my life. So we got these 2 games left for you, and we got some teasers. And we got some free picks. And I got to get some sleep, you feel me? I got to go. I got to get ready for this game, top of the morning. So let's get it, man. What's the next game, dog?
The biggest game potentially of the year, regular season. Bills 3-1, going to Arrowhead Stadium to play the Chiefs 2-2. This is the AFC Championship last year. Here we go. Running it back. This is, like you said, one of the hardest games to pick.
See, like, this is one of those games that is so hard to pick. You can't even start off with your pick. You got to start off with your reasonings for the pick. You got to start off with what you like and dislike from each team, man. So, like, what I'm seeing was going to go on. We're going to see what's the true test of this Bills defense. So, like, you're saying you're number 1. You guys haven't played that many great teams, but you showed that any bad team that's not supposed to be there, we getting y'all out of there. There's no reason for y'all to play with us. So we're gonna see what they're gonna do against this loaded offense. Tyreek Hill just came off for 3 touchdowns. So we're gonna see what these Bills defense is really about. But this Chiefs defense, we know what they're about. And like, they ain't about shit. I can't apologize when I'm telling the truth. Like, they're not about shit right now. We don't know if it's like there's something that's going to work on, something that's going to meld, something they're going to figure out, some scheming. Nah, they just not about shit. They let Jalen Hurts throw up 387 with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith 112 yards, and we don't even fuck with 12. So it's like, I got to take the Chiefs on this one. I feel like Bills are going to ball out. Josh Allen's going to eat. But we're going to see what's up. I'm just picking the Chiefs because it's safe. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. It's safe.
Safe bet.
It's not as safe as it was in the past to just sit there like, oh, I got the Chiefs. Y'all tripping. But y'all can't get a hold on Sunday night twice. You seen what LJ did to y'all boys. Y'all got to tighten up. So we're going to see what's up.
That is true. I didn't even think of that. I want to pick the Chiefs because, like you said, it's Chiefs. It's
safe. It's the mighty, mighty Chiefs. But it's safe.
Chiefs, but some things that scare me is like their defense ranked 31st. They allow 31 points per game. They allow teams to score. Everyone they've played has scored a lot of points. Like, I have to rock with the Bills. I do like the defense. I don't think they're the number 1 defense as it shows right now. It's because they played Dolphins with Jacoby Brissett, put up 35-0. They played the Texans, shitted on them. So, like, there's some inflated stats right there. There's some stats that probably shouldn't be the way they are. I just think Josh Allen is going to be able to get it done. They lost last year. This game has been circled for the Bills from Doug McDermott's side all year. They knew as soon as the schedule came out, like, oh, we get to have our rematch. We get to see him again. It does scare me, though, because it's at Arrowhead, one of the loudest stadiums in the whole football league. So, like, there will be some crowd noise there. I just like, if the Chiefs have been allowing all these teams to put up 31 and the Bills potentially have a top 5, top 3 offense, they're going to put up points. And I see this being the game the Bills win. And maybe at the end of the season, they meet again in the playoffs. I like the Chiefs. But
that's fair. That's very fair.
In regular season time, I'm going to give it to the Bills here. And it's going to be high scoring. It will be a shootout. It will be 30-34, 30-37. It's going to be both over 60.
It's going to be lit. There's going to be a lot more defensive stops than we think. It's going to be lit. But I just feel like the Chiefs have more to lose with how strong their division is. They got more to lose right now.
They do. But I would agree with that if this wasn't the Bills' biggest game of the year. Because the Bills are waking up for this game. The Bills are ready. They're like, they know when a good team they're going, like I said, they're human beings too. They know who the Chiefs are.
We're gonna see. It's gonna be what would my dog Jim Ross call it? A slobber knocker. Come on, dog. It's gonna be chairs, tables, people throwing through tables. Oh man, money in the bank. Somebody has to get this money in the bank, dog. So it's gonna be a slobber knocker. We're gonna see it, and I'm gonna have my feet up, my snacks. I'm gonna be slightly tired because I've been up since 9 o'clock, but we gonna be lit.
Probably the best Sunday night football game on paper. I don't know if it's gonna be any better than the 49ers and Packers game because that game was a thriller. But on paper, this game could potentially be the best Sunday night football of the whole year.
We'll see. It's gonna be a great one though.
And to cap us off, we got Monday night football. This is the game where everyone wins their money back that they lost on Sunday. You have the Colts 1-3 rolling to the Ravens 3-1, both coming off of victories. All eyes on Carson Wentz versus that Ravens pass rush. I'm rocking Ravens. I think this is going to be the easiest game for them just because all-pro Quentin Nelson on the Colts is out. Carson's still only got one ankle. Better than having no ankles, but he has one ankle. And I just think the Ravens are going to get the job done.
Hey, man, you already know who I'm taking.
Oh, we know.
Lamar. Hey, man, that boy don't never do me wrong. But, hey, I'm not going to hold you. If you was to pick, like, a team that was, like, straight underdogs, there was an underdog team that had to win this week, and like, I would have picked the Colts. Like, if you was, like, one team, I was like, damn, you know what? I picked straight favorites. I'm taking somebody different. I would have took the Colts, kid, because, like, this is a team that these teams match up kind of well on just, like, I'm not as good as a football language speaker, but like when I look at them, I'd be like, okay, they really don't have shit. But these teams this game's gonna be a lot closer because both these teams make a lot of mistakes. They make mistakes in the wrong time, but both these teams capitalize off mistakes. So I feel like on paper, the Ravens are supposed to blow them boys out. It's not even supposed to be close, but like I feel like this could be like if the spread was 2.5, I'd be scared.
The spread's 7 with the Baltimore.
Yeah, if the spread was like 3.5, I'd be scared. I'd be like, I don't know, man. I'm not taking that.
I know who you're rocking with. Just for our listeners, who you got?
Oh, I got the Ravens. I got Lamar, not Kendrick. I'm talking Jackson, not Mike, maybe Jermaine, but we talking Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And I like them boys to get the dub. And I'll throw a score out there too. It's either going to be a 22-18 type of game or like a 28. I'd be wanting to say 11 because I don't be wanting to say 12, but 28-13 game.
I think it'd be like a 28-17 game. Ravens still cover, but the
I don't
Baltimore
see the
come up,
Ravens
but
doing
the
a lot
Colts
of
still
scoring.
score.
I don't know why. I just don't see them doing a lot of scoring this week. I say that 20 because like they gotta score that 20, that 22-18. Like they was down 16-18 type shit.
But it should be a good one. Like you said, I think the Colts are heavily slept on. Maybe they even surprise some teams here. But I just think Lamar's locked in here. This is his year right now.
Nah, this is a good year for him. I don't think this is his year. I feel like this is gonna be that year that the Ravens could have did it. Like it was like they could have did it, but just the stars weren't aligned. So like the stars weren't aligned in the grand scheme of things. But like they could have did it. They had a great team.
It was out of their hand.
There were just things that they couldn't control that stopped it.
I can see it. But I think that right there wraps us up for this week on all of our picks. We picked them all.
I'm not gonna lie, that was smooth. That was smooth as fuck. We did that right there.
Yeah, no, I like that one. This one came out good. And as everyone knows, we only have one more thing before we wrap up our show.
Bruh, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you right now. See, look, we didn't have a sponsor this week because the sponsor is money. If you really want some picks, man, we don't be putting up a record of the picks and stuff like that, but you don't want no money lines from me. I'm gonna tell you, scam everybody. I don't pay anybody. I don't pay nobody, but even though I owe Dax $16, I got you. But I don't believe in paying people back. That's why I don't bet. But Paul, pick 'em, win 'em, Contra got some picks for you this week. Got some bets for you, some money line. Let me know what hit last week. Do you have anything hit last week?
I did really bad last week, but the one thing that kept me out of everything was my bonus lock of Tampa Bay -1.5. That's outscored the Patriots in the first quarter by 2 points. And they no sweat at all. That was probably my biggest bet of the week. So some of my other locks didn't hit, but that one right there made up for everything. I'm still coasting good. Coasting enough to be able to come back and bring you some more locks.
Yeah, super quick before you go into your bets, explain to me how hard gambling is. Like, because I told somebody I went 8-8 with my picks. I was telling a girl that I went 8-8 with my picks, and she was like, "Oh, well, that's good. You got the same." And I was like, nah. I'm trying to go at least 775% at least. Like 700 is a bad day for me. Like, and she goes, "Really?" And I was like, think about it. If somebody were to gamble on all those teams, if you get one wrong, you lost the money. Everything's dead immediately. So explain to somebody real quick. It's not a gambler, like how much of a mind has to go into it.
So I typically, unless it's a parlays, which is when you're combining different bets together into one bet for a bigger payout, I don't try to attack money lines just because it doesn't pay out as well. Because like the Bucs right now, they're -500 on the money line versus the Dolphins, and almost everyone will say like the Bucs are guaranteed to win. But if you just take the Bucs money line, you have to put $500 on the Bucs to win to only win 100. So you're risking a lot more, and everyone knows in NFL like shit can happen. Not the better team always wins. So typically, experienced gamblers who've done it for a while, they typically stay away from one, parlays, because there's always one that fucks you up, and two, money lines because of stuff like that. Usually just try to attack the spread or the over under, because with the spreads you get equal payout. The spreads are always a different, the number just indicates what their team's supposed to win by or lose by, and it's always the same payout. You bet 10, you win like 950. You bet 100, you win 95. So like you get more. So like if I bet 10 spreads and I go 70% that week, I may have lost like $30 on those 3 bets, like $10 on each of those bets. But then I made 70 on all my other bets. So I made about $40 that day. So things like that. So you usually just try to find spreads, have one pick, put money on it, next one, another one. Because then if you're doing it correctly and you have more winners than losers, you have a good day. And then if you have some good bets, that's when I parlay them. When I'm really, my locks, I usually parlay them just because I'm feeling good. And you don't have to bet a lot when you're parlaying. You bet like 5 to win 50, stuff like that. But it is hard, especially when you're doing spreads, because it's easy to talk yourself to both sides. You're always like the Cowboys and Giants. You're like, oh, the Cowboys are a lot better. -7, of course they'll win by 7 points. But then you start talking to yourself like, oh, well, their defense does allow 390 yards per game. The Jets aren't as a divisional game. Like, maybe they'll keep it close. So then now you're sitting there like you're like a devil and an angel on one side of each. You're just like, both outcomes could happen. And now you're trying to figure out what side are you more likely on.
No, I respect it. America, as you can tell, I'm not a gambler. He definitely lost me at betting on the Bucs. I was just sitting there like, people bet on the Bucs. I hate y'all. But nah, that was a good take. I appreciate that. I appreciate that 4-1. I'm gonna watch that on the double back. Probably take a couple notes on that. But now hit us with a couple of locks. Hit us with a couple of bets. Let me know how to get some money this week.
I got 4 locks this week. I do want to hear your after I give you my lock for each one. I want to hear how you feel about them. First one, I got +2.5 Browns. They're the underdog this game. Like I told you earlier, the Browns are at the number 2 defense right now, only allowing 250 yards per game. Chargers got a bottom 4 rush defense, and everybody knows that Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt is the duo in the NFL. They're the best rushing offense in the NFL. I think that the Browns are going to control the time of possession. They're going to they're going to run the ball a lot. Baker Mayfield's only probably going to throw like 20 passes. Just keep a clean game. Myles Garrett and Clowney are both top 10 in QB pressures. I know the Chargers have had a good line this year, but they haven't played anybody who has Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney on their team. So I'll even sprinkle a little bit on the Browns money line at plus money, just because I think if the Browns +2.5, I think that's a lock. I don't think they're going to lose, and if they do lose, they're not going to lose, but they're not going to lose by more than 2 points.
That's a good one. I respect it. I don't know about it, but I respect it.
And then the next one, this one we were also on opposite sides on in the pick'ems. -1 Broncos, Bronco County. Teddy Bridgewater is hopefully gonna play. Broncos are 4th in defense for total yards given up. They are locking shit up. They're only allowing 70 rush yards per game total. So Najee Harris is gonna be bottled up in the backfield. Big Ben ain't gonna have a run game to lean on. I think Juju and Chase Claypool are banged up, might not play. So with Big Ben having to carry the whole load on offense, he's going to crumble. This is the best defense he's seen all year by far, and he's just going to crumble. He's going to throw picks, and I just like the Broncos to win straight up. -1, lock it in.
I respect it. That's another one. I respect it. I don't like it. I respect it. I don't like it. Should have teased it. You should have teased it +5 to be safe. But you know what I'm saying?
Hey, that is teasing material. The next lock I have, this one I think you're going to be happy with. We have the Packers -3. The Bengals have beat who? They scraped by the Jaguars by a field goal. They beat the Steelers, who doesn't look absolutely terrible this year. And they lost to the Bears. And then they scraped by the Vikings, whose defense is currently allowing 400 yards per game. They don't have Joe Mixon who's like number 2 in rushing right now. So they don't have the number 2 running back right now for rushing. And their offense is very similar to the Vikings to me, where they need a rushing offense to open up the play action, to allow Joe Burrow to do what he does good. So if they don't have that running game working for him and it's all on Joe Burrow, I think this is going to be the game in which the hype for the Bengals gets killed a little bit, because they're going to see a team that really is a playoff contender, Super Bowl contender, and they're going to be beat. They're going to be beat. It's going to be more than a field goal, at least a touchdown.
That's interesting. I think the only reason why this game that the spread is so close is because these teams don't play each other ever. I think Aaron Jones was on the Pat McAfee show. He said last time they played each other was when he was in high school. Jeez. Like the Bengals played, it was like 2013. And I was thinking like, damn, I was like a sophomore. Like they just don't play each other like that. So like they don't really understand each other's tendencies. Yeah, they don't really know each other. They don't understand the tendencies. So I think this game is going to be interesting because these teams don't have a feel for each other and these schemes are very different. And the Bengals have a decent defense, but
their defense to me though is just inflated though, because they played the Jags and they played the Bears who had Andy Dalton get hurt halfway through. And they also had to play the Steelers, who are not good right now.
3.5 is definitely Vegas blessing them boys. It was like, okay, we done took a lot of money this year. Like, let's see if I can sprinkle some money back on the low. But nah, we'll see how it goes. I was a good one though. I'm fucking with it.
And the other one I'm locking up, my final lock of the week, Saints -2. Washington's defense is allowing 420 yards per game, which is 29th in the league. I expect the Saints to bounce back after losing at home. They're actually a pretty good road team under Sean Payton. Kamara is going to have that big game that everyone's been waiting for. Like, he's been real silent. He's only like 20 to 25th in fantasy football as a running back. So there's going to be the game in which he balls out. He has that big game. The Saints they're the second best rush defense in the league right now. They're only allowing 66 rush yards per game. And Antonio Gibson might not play. He's banged up. So if he's not running, and the only running back you have is J.D. McKissick, who's really just a pass-catching back, there's going to be no rushing offense there. And if Heineke has to shoulder the whole load, I love Heineke, but with Marshawn Lattimore shadowing Scary Terry, and his other favorite target, Logan Thomas, just went to the injury reserve, I just think this is going to be a bad game. I think this is a Saints get right game. They're going to blow them out. Not blow them out, but they're going to -2 is way too small of a spread for this game.
Definite. I'm not gonna lie, these are pretty good locks. I actually want to say I don't think I'm taking the shots this week. I'm kind of rocking with these. Even though I picked against these teams, I respected them. So
but sometimes those plus, because like the Chargers can still win, but the Browns only lose by 2. It's still
we'll see, because these were very favorable picks. This was a lot tougher week than it looked when it comes to picking, because on paper a lot of these teams are better than these teams, but like the schemes wise, it looked like a lot of these favorites got beat. Even though the favorites, it looked like a favorite heavy week. A lot of these
that was scary for me. A lot of my first just the gut picks I had in the beginning, I was just like, hold up, I can't have all favorites now.
Yeah, this is a real favorite heavy week, so we're gonna see what's up with it. But it's gonna be a good week of football. I'm liking those picks. Go Falcons, man! Top of the morning. I gotta go get some motherfucking sleep.
Don't forget, because I have my last thing before we close out is my teaser.
My bad.
No, you reminded me with your Falcons, because the first team on my teaser, +4.5 Falcons. I like the Falcons. Everyone knows when I pick them. Falcons, I like to win the game. But even if they lose, the Jets can't beat nobody by more than a field goal. So there's no way this one.
Overtime.
Yeah, like
15 seconds left on the clock, and they missed it.
Like I said, the Jets poured a Gatorade on their coach after the last game. You poured a Gatorade on your coach, you're not waking up for the next game. Y'all that was y'all's big game right there.
Yeah, that was a championship.
You're just happy you didn't lose every game this year. Like, what? That's crazy. Fade the team that pours the Gatorade, unless it's a Super Bowl Gatorade pour.
That's a young individual shit right there.
Another team, I have Ravens -1. I think they're the better team here. Monday night, they lost the last Monday night they played against the Raiders. They're going to get right here. Bringing it down to -1 is basically a pick 'em. I like Lamar Jackson over those Colts with a banged up Quentin Nelson, who's not going to play, banged up Carson Wentz. Ravens going to get after that. Another team I have, +8.5 Bills. This is going to be a shootout, but there's no way with that Chiefs defense I see them losing by more than a touchdown. And 8.5 is just too much, I think. I think the Bills are going to keep it close. And even if they do lose by a touchdown, it still hits. +8.5 is way too many points. And then the final one is -1 Cowboys. It's going to be – I think it's going to be closer than what it is. If you want to take +13 Giants, I wouldn't be upset either if you go the opposite way. Just because I think the game will be close, but I'm rocking with the Cowboys just to win straight up -1. I think they're a lot better team here.
I respect it.
And that one right there, that's my 4-team teaser. I've been doing pretty good on my teasers. I think I'm like 2-1 on all my teasers. So lock that one in too.
Let's get it, man. You have taken a lot of shots. You're going to be motherfucking on point. Regardless, I'm going to be over here with my no money.
No money.
With my no money that I made that week off of football.
But at least the money isn't nothing, bro. The money is secondary. It's the best thing about it is being able to say like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen. That's why I bet on that. They're like, oh, I bet. Oh, the Giants upset the Titans. Who? No one called that. I did. I took that bet right there. like
$45 off of it.
Yeah, just to be able to sit there like, I saw it coming. If you would have listened, that's the money's secondary. It's just all about I'm right. That's the best.
I respect it.
But that brings us to another great episode of Totally Blitzed podcast. I'm gonna finish my beer while Kevin sends us out with the outro.
Man, I gotta break it down one time because it's the end of another good episode. This shit was smooth as fuck. That boy Paul drinking the Steel Reserve. Hey Paul, tell him how much the Steel Reserve cost.
Yeah, it was $1, bro. They actually discontinued these beers. I Googled it after I bought it, and they said these beers are discontinued. So I'm drinking on the past.
I just think you drink that. You gotta keep that can. That's cool. That's a memory. But nah, hey man, this has been the Totally Blitzed podcast. This is your boy Kev Waterboy Savoy, Paul Pickling Winham Concert. Shout out that boy Alex AB for the Bucs insider, because you really don't want to talk to him. We don't understand why he's a Bucs fan, but he's a Bucs fan, and hopefully they don't win another Super Bowl. But here's how it goes. Another episode of Totally Blitzed. We out of here, man. We're gonna catch our boys after the weekend to see how it goes. Hey man, Falcons, 9 o'clock in the morning, top of the morning. Be there, be square. It's not fair. We very rare. Totally Blitzed, bitch.
Got a problem with being problematic. Keep the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap, man. This game